Hello, 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 it is I, Illamore, coming back at you with another video on Settlers 2 10th Anniversary Edition. This time we are focusing on the farmer who you can see coming out and about to plant his grain. During this video I expect to tell you how much grain you can expect to get from him, where you can put a farm, where you can put fields, and why on earth we've got this crazy configuration of roads. The farm is one of the larger buildings you have to build on this kind of castle icon, which means you've got to have flat ground and you've got to have a lot of room around. You've got to have even more room around in order to be able to plant your fields. The farmer can plant on this earth kind of area. He can also plant on the grass area, as we're about to see, but he will not plant on sand and he will not plant on rock. So he's limited as to what he can plant on. Let's have a look at all the different types of ground that he's able to plant on. Alright, so I've set up this demo map just to show all the different type of textures, and there are 73 different textures in the game, and they split down into various types of texture, and the three that I'm about to show you, the 3 rows here, are the meadow texture. These are the only textures that the farmer can plant on. He can build houses on other textures, but he can only plant on these meadow textures, and there are 17 of them. He can't plant on sand, he can't plant on rock, he can't plant on lava, he can't plant on seedbed for some strange reason. The meadow textures, those are the ones that he can plant on. Here you can see that I've set up a farming community with a farm, mill, a bakery and a well, and I've set it up in this way with the road configuration as it is to prevent 2 fields being planted next to each other. The reason for that is if the farmer plants a field, he can't plant another field next to the one that's already planted, and I guess if you're going to leave ground fallow for your crop rotation, that's a great idea. In the game it's a little bit frustrating. However, we can limit where the farmer will plant with clever use of roads and flags and in fact buildings. So there are different configurations that we can use to optimize how the farmer works. So the question is, do any of these configurations actually make any difference? Well, I decided to test it. So we've got 6 storehouses and 6 tests, and each of these storehouses is cut off from the rest of the community, and they've got nothing in them, at least no grain in them, and they are all ready to accept grain. We've also got 6 farms where I've stopped the production for now. I've let them go a little bit so that they've each got 1 grain field ready to go, just to keep it all fair. But what we're going to do is we're going to set each one of these farms going. Let me just quickly, let me start them, and then I'll explain the differences in each one. Got to be careful not to destroy the building, that would be a shame. Alright, let's quickly get these going so that they are as synchronized as possible. In fact, you can see this farmer has already started, so this guy, this guy, yep, they've all started. Alright, what are the differences? Well, this one, completely free reign. He can farm wherever apart from this one road, and obviously you need a road, so what are you going to do? This one, he's got 6 spaces in a kind of flower petal or butterfly pattern, so that he's never trying to farm in 2 adjacent places at once. This guy has the same configuration but just 4 spots available to him. This guy is similar, except we've just offset the spaces, so we've got a central road in the other one. We've got no central road here, so he can go here, and I'm just wondering if it will make a difference in his pathing, because in this way he never has to go around any fields, whereas this one, I think he'd have to go around this field to get to this one, so it's interesting. Here we've got 3, and I'm wondering if it will make any difference to have 3 rather than 4, because I've got this feeling that if you've got 3 spots, even though you can plant 4 at a time, they'll be roughly similar. And then this one, we've just got a pattern out front here of 5, and I'm just, will he block himself by having 2? So we'll just let this run for a simulated hour, or in our time about 3 minutes. Alright, that is the end of the test, and we're just going to toggle the production off in the same order that we turned it on. And now we'll give them a little bit of time just to get their last wheat into the storehouse if that's necessary. That should be good. So let's just let's see how the test went. So with our completely free range farm, every spot available apart from the one that's blocked by the road, and he got 60 grain. So I mean, went for about an hour. Didn't really test it, but 60 grain in about an hour with completely free range. So that's interesting. Just having the 5, so sometimes he's going to be blocked and he'll only be able to put 2 in. Actually got a bit more, 64. Why would that be? He's got less spots than this guy, but he's actually got more in. Well, it's travel time. Travel time would have been less because he only has to come out here, and the maximum journey is 2. Well, actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 journeys. So putting them just out front and blocking the back, possibly a better strategy. About this one where he would never block himself. 60. So free range and the butterfly exactly the same, but again that journey time going back, that would slow things down slightly. What about here where he's never going to be blocked? He's got 4 spots and he's but he's never going to go around the back. 69 grain. Alright, so that's looking like the best. 69 grain. That's pretty good. Alright, different configuration where he might have had to travel around a bit. 65, so it does make a difference actually having the road down the middle here so that he never has to travel too far. In fact, that would have been an extra journey even there. So this middle channel, slightly better. What about if there's just 3 spots? 65 again. So this is the champion. This is the one that we want. 4 spots that he can travel to, each of them within 1 or 2 journeys. They're never going to get in each other's way. And actually doing the math, it's about a 6% increase between the second best, which got 65, and the best, which got 69, and a 15% increase if you just allow the farmer to farm wherever he wants. So definitely worth optimizing your farm for efficiency. So here's an example of what could be a perfect farming community. You've got the farmer who's got these 4 spots out front. He never has to travel more than 2 from his farm, so his output is good. The mill at the back, the bakery at the back, a storehouse to store any extras for easy access, an input here and potential inputs over here, a well to keep the bakery running. Now, I don't think the farmer can keep up with the mill, but that's something that we'll check in our next focus on when we do focus on the mill and the bakery. But right now it's looking pretty good. Why put the mill at the back? Why not put it here, which is what I originally did? Well, the farmer will not plant next to a building. He'll plant next to a flag, he'll plant next to a road, but he won't plant next to a building. So if there was a building here, these spots would lie fallow. He wouldn't plant there. If there was a building here, he wouldn't plant here. If there's a building here or here, he won't plant. So the best thing to do is to keep the farms at the bottom of the community and keep your mill, bakery, well, storehouse, anything else up at the top. So now that we've got our perfect setup, it's time to do some observations. Let's see how fast, or in fact how slowly, the farmer runs. What we're going to do is we're going to do 8 observations, but on his planting season and then his reaping season. So he'll plant these 4 and then he'll reap the 4, and I'm going to count that as 1 season, and we'll do some observations on 8 seasons, see how much grain this guy can produce. So it's time for my favourite bit, the math, and as you can see we did 8 observations, and 4 of them he plants, and then 4 he reaps, and then 4 plants, 4 reaps, and so you get kind of an interesting average time with a big jump. You see it's about 40 seconds between reaping when he's just reaping, but then when he has to plant as well, it's 3 minutes and 15 seconds or so. So overall that averages out to about 78 seconds, 1 minute 18 seconds for each piece of grain to become available. And this is where having the 6 slots in the windmill is useful, because you can save them up as they're coming in faster than you can mill them, but then use them as it slows down during the planting season. On average then you'd see 8 grain within about 9 minutes and 8 seconds. So yeah, you see kind of a jump there, averaging it out. Farmer will plant 4 fields if they're available. Can only plant on the meadow. Goes out to a range of 2, but can't plant next to a building, including his own. So that's why there's those 12 spots around the farm where he can plant, minus 1 road. And just one last thing I did want to point out is that farmers can share fields, and not only the spots but the fields themselves. So we've seen the farmer on the left here has planted that particular field, and now the farmer on the right comes and reaps that field, which is interesting, and maybe there's a way to use that to increase efficiency, but I haven't found it. Actually, farmers just seem to get in each other's way. There will come a point where if you share multiple of these fields, then one of the farmers will sow both of those fields and then have fields left bare in another place, and the other farmer will have to wait. So I haven't found a good use for farmers sharing fields yet. If you can think of one, please let me know. So that's the focus on the farmer. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope this allows you to use farmers more efficiently and enjoy the game of Settlers even more. But for now, it's time to say goodbye to the farmer. I hope you have a lovely day. Bye bye.